はい、皆さん、こんにちは。それでは、シャーロック・ホームズ、罪と罰、続きやっていきたいと思います。今回、第6章、半月夜の、散歩を始めたいと思います。まず、どっか行くなったよね。警察署、スコットランドヤードだったっけ？
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here?
確か、ウィギンズ君のお兄さんが逮捕されたっていう話だよね。
He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
銃を持っていたのか。怪しいですね。なんだこれ。鼻の顔が12345 5人の顔が謎ですね。ちょっと邪魔ワトソン君、いつも思うけど。じゃあまず所持品確認しようか。これか。レイトンの拳銃。
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a
ウェベリー自動
revolver,
回
a
転式拳
reliable
銃。
weapon.
頼りになる武器だと。弾倉は
It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
薬莢がまだ取り除かれてないと。重心開ける。2発撃たれてるんじゃない？
Two out of the six shells
2発撃
had
たれ
been
ていると。
fired. There were two shots.
時計、安い時計。彼は自分の金で購入した。間違いない。これ何？巻きタバコ。
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco.
別
Nothing
に興味を
interesting.
引くところはない。所持品は全部調べ終わったよ。じゃあお話聞いてみようか。本当にあなたがやったんですかと。どの子だ？こいつか。
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
すべてを話してくれるってことなんで、まあ聞きましょう
Good.
か。
Tell me
何
your
があったの
account
か
of
話し
what
てくれ。
happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
戻る時間があった？
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
どうか続けてください。
Interesting. Pray continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. and then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping in all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man.
3人目の男。
Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
じゃあちょっと観察しましょうか。なんか気づきになるよね。深い傷跡、時々喧嘩をする、路上育ち。あと、目の、これ痛そうだよね、すごいね。つい最近殴られたと、逮捕に反抗した。あとは洒落た襟巻き、事務員。あ、なんかあるよ、ここ、マーク。ウェスゲート刑務所経験者。
We shall see you soon.
ではまた後で。なるほど。イギンズくん、俺この人調べてもいいの？ちょっとなんか信用できないよ。元犯罪者だしさ、言ってることもよくわかんないんだよ。じゃあハーフムーン通り行ってみよう。はい、やってきました。どうすればいいんだろうな。まあ、とりあえず、そう、酔っ払いが寝てますね。話すことはできない。待って待って、どこ行けばいいの？ということは、ごめん、じゃあ、ここか。この中に入ればいいのか。じゃあ入りますよ。暗くてよく見えねえな。ここに何か手がかりはきっとあるはず。ここを通って行ったんだもんね。レイトン君は。そしたら、死体があったと。棒があるよ。ここが現場なんですね。
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline
88 年の切り裂きジャックの件で
Mr. Holmes,
警部と一緒
back
でした。
in 88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
被害者。
Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot.
2
The
つ
stout
取った方
fellow
が
was
ブライア
Brian
ン。
Vercotti, a
有名
well-known
な悪党。
ruffian.
もう一
The
人は
other,
ケネス・バトラー、
Kenneth
宝石商。
Butler, a jeweler by trade.
目撃者は
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
このお花屋さんか。証言は
So, Constable
君の
Mara,
証言を
I
ぜひ
should
とも
be
聞いてみ
delighted
たいん
to
です
hear
けど。
your
すれ違った
testimony.
とは言ってたもんね。
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
銃声は聞こえました
Did
か
you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
花火。
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
ハーフムーン通りの詳細。
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
ターナー氏の窓。
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have
君
been
の
of
証言は
great
非常
value
に貴
to
重
me.
なものだったよ。ありがとうね。じゃあ、いろいろ調べてみような。棒ってあったのが気になったんだよ。棒
A。fairly long
先が
pole
二
with
股
a
になっ
forked
てい
end.
るかなり長めの棒。興味がある対象物になりましたね。今後使いますね、きっと。おお、手。
He tried to stop the
傷
bleeding
口を
with
手で
his
押さえて
hand.
出血を塞ごうとしたのだ。
Death
彼
was
は
not
即死ではなかった。傷口。
The bullet penetrated
彼の
his
腹部を
stomach.
貫通している
A dreadful
恐ろしい傷だと。こっちの手はあ、こっちにも入れ墨入ってる
from
ね。
Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some
レイト君
time
と同じ
there.
だ。
Brian Vercotti and Leighton
共に同じ入れ墨をしてる
Chapman。both have
彼らはおそらく
identical
面識があっ
Westgate
た。
prison tattoos.
じゃあレイト君やっ
They
ぱ
were
怪
most
しい
likely
よ。
acquainted.
ウィギンズ君のお兄さんだから助けてあげたい気はしたけどさ。
Brian Vercotti suffered
む
greatly.
ごい死に方だって
It
書
was
い
a
てる。
terrible way to die.
まあお腹を打たれたことによって即死ではなかったからかなり苦しんで死んだんだろうね。これは宝石傷だったっけ。頭に一発だ。
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
なんかあるよこれ。待ってよ。だけど一応調べるとか調べようぜ。左のポケット。なんか出てきた。鍵。もらっておこう。
This is an ordinary key.
どこの扉が開くのかなと。あとは R1 をしてみるか。 R1 をしますよ。ピッ。これ気になる。地面。物が挟まっている。木の破片。はい、
A
調べよ
piece
う。
of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let
詳
us
しく見て
take
み
a
よう。
closer look.
何これ。棒じゃない？
This shard of wood is quite new.
杖かなんかかな。おう。長い棒、なんかさ、割れてない？大丈夫？
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
違うか。あと調べられそうなものは、スコップは調べられないと。なるほどね。そしたら、あとはお花屋さんの人に話を聞くのと、こいつか。このハゲ親父に話を聞く。こいつも証言してるんだもんね。
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
はい、証言を聞
Could
き
you
ましょ
tell
う。
us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
他に人物はいませんでした
Mr.
か？
Turner, did you
3
see
人目の
anyone
男が
else
い
in
る
the
はずだったん
street?
ですよ。
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
2発の独特の銃声。
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different
何かこう
somehow.
音が違っとっ
It
た気
seemed
がす
to
る。
me that the second shot
So
was
花火じゃ
louder
ない
than
の？
the first.
That is an interesting comment.
逃走の後は
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming into Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
なるほど。この人を見てみようか。目がちょっと泳いでるな。怪しいですよ。特に何もないな。3つほど調べましたね、これ。勲章の留め金、目出し帽、クリミア戦争、退役軍人。もう退役軍人だったんだ。やっぱ調べるとこあんまないぞ。退役軍人であるのと、ポケットも何も調べられない。あ、なんかある。ボタンが取れている。貧しい生活。退役軍人だったけど、支えが必要。弱い足。ビッグを引いている。怪しい。
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
こいつ怪しい。だってさ、このさ、宝石商のところのさ、とこにさ、木の破片落ちたじゃん。あれ多分杖だと思うんだよ。だからこの人さ、杖をついて本当は歩いてるんだけど、たまたまあそこに杖挟まって折れちゃったんで、あ、ウィギンズくん。
I'll do anything to save my brother,
何でもや
Mr.
るよ、本
Holmes.
当？頑張ろうぜ、じゃあ。ちょっとね、レイトン君怪しいなと思ったけど、退役軍人がちょっと怪しいかなと今思ってます。あとはこの人が目撃者か。
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
あなたの証言を聞かせてくだ
Could
さ
you
い。
tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes, yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
他の人が来ませんでしたか？
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the
そうだよね。普
fireworks?
通は花火が上がってるから銃声なんて聞き取れないはずなのに、
Mrs. Powell.
さっきのこの退役軍人の人は、銃声が2発聞こえたという話をしてましたね。そして本来ここに、死体があって、普通はこう逃げるじゃん。こっちが逃げるんだけど、来た人はいないという証言から、犯人はこっちに逃げたんだよ、きっと。だからお前だよ、犯人。犯人お前だよ、きっと。ハーフムーン通りの事件を解決する。あれ？あとは、結構いいね。レイトンの供述と、回転式拳銃と異なる銃声かな。同時の発砲。銃声は3発発砲されたが、ターナーには2つの異なる銃声音として聞こえた。最初に1発発砲されたその後すぐに2発の銃弾がほぼ同時に発射された。銃はそれぞれハーフムーン通りの違うところから発砲された。それがターナーには2つの異なる銃声音として聞こえた。どっちだろう。けど、2発しか使われてなかったよね。全く違う場所から発砲された。これわかんない。けどこっちなんかマークついてるの気になるね。銃撃戦を再現するだって。あ、そっか、敵も撃ったかもしれないのか。なるほどね。ターナーの目撃と、共通する供述。違うか。レイトンの供述。2人の被害者。暗い窓。はい。ターナー氏は警察が到着するまでずっと窓の外にいたと述べた。窓のそばに。マロー巡査は窓のそばには誰も見なかった。彼らの真実は食い違っている。ターナーのアパートを調べるって手がかりが言ってましたね。 そうだね。2人の被害者。ないな。レイトンの供述と、架空の人物。レイトン・チャップマンの陳述にあった男は自分の潔白を証明するために彼が作り上げた架空の人物。そういうわけじゃないと思うよ。レイトンの供述と共通と、ないか。まだ足りないんだな。オッケー。そしたらアパート調べようか。俺絶対こいつ怪しいと思うもん。もうお前が犯人だと思う、俺は。
Mr. Turner,
あなたは事件が起きた後、ずっと窓のそばにとおっしゃりましたよね。
Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
違うな。どれだ？ターナーの矛盾でいいかな。
That is very interesting,
マロー巡査は
Mr.
です
Turner.
ね、あなた
Constable
の
Marrow
窓には誰
stated
も
that
見
he
なかっ
did
た
not
と
see
話し
anyone
てる
at
ん
the
ですよ。
window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
やっぱ足が不自由ですね。折れた
Mr.
さ
Turner、appears to live very
暖炉
modestly.
調べようか。火。
This fire is dying out. It was last 10.
最後に火がくべられたのは1時間以上も。R1、火、灰、燃やされた紙。調べよう。
The papers are almost entirely
何が書い
burned.
てあるか読むこ
I'm
とはで
unable
き
to
ないだっ
see what's
て。
written here.
回転させようか。
These words are illegible.
判
The
別できない
papers
み
were
たいで
thrown
す。
into the fire just a short while
ほんの
ago.
少し前に火の中に投げ込まれたって。あとさ、杖とかないの？杖とか。ないね。玄関にはないのか。じゃあ、ちょっと上上がって、こいつのアパート調べよう。わざわざこいつのアパート調べられるってことはね、こいつが多分怪しいんだよ。本棚。杖あった、俺さっき折れてるじゃん。ぴったし。
So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
こいつ絶対怪しいと思ったも
The books on this shelf are in a mess.
ん。急いで
It
物
looks
でも
as though
探してい
Mr.
たかの
Turner
よう
was
に見
trying
える
to
だっ
find
て。
something in a hurry here a short while ago.
なるほどね。ベッド。
Mr. Turner
銃
was
声を
roused
聞い
from
て
his
ベ
bed
ッドか
by
ら
the
起き
sound
上が
of
った。
gunshots.
この机は何？調べられない。調べられるとこ少ないね、意外とね。いや、俺はもう杖で確信しましたね。犯人はお前だ。調理台。包
This
丁。
kitchen knife is quite sharp.
R1 あるよ。調理台。裁断された紙。
There are pieces of shredded paper
裁
scattered
断
over
され
the
た紙
table.
がテーブル
This
の上に散
kitchen
らばってい
knife
る。
was used to
この
cut
包丁は
the
紙
paper.
を切るのに使われた。だから何？窓を調べようか。
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window.
ワトソン君は何してんだろう？
Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
L1 だって。イマジネーション。死体に近づく。何かを取る。 杖を折る。死体に近づく。何かを取る。杖を折る。死体に近づく。何かを取る。杖を折る。どういうこと？これ何？あ、順番か。折れた杖を置く。何かを暖炉に投げ入れる。ベッドから起き上がる。杖を取る。まずベッドから起き上がり、杖を取り、窓を開ける。だから死んでるから死体に近づき何かを取った。それを、多分紙なんだろうね。で、包丁で紙を切って、違う。その前に折れた杖を置いて、包丁で紙を切って何かを投げ入れたと。これでどうよ？ L2。合ってんのかな？早送りする。はい、早送り。起きて窓を見た後に、誰かが死んでるなと。で、外に出て行ったけど、杖が挟まってしまい、折れてしまったが、元に戻り、折れた杖をまず置いた後、紙を裁断して投げ入れたよと。
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body.
何を見つ
The
けたか。
question is, what did he find?
本。油っぽい指紋。これか。
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
なんかあ
Well
る。
now, what a
高価な
find.
宝石が隠されてる。
Precious jewel concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
はい。これはもらっておきましょう、私が。あなた、怪しいですよ。けど、この人が殺したわけじゃないのかな？盗んだだけかな？
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
あなたは、ビッコ引いてますよね。
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
真相教えてくだ
And
さい
what。of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner,
この人犯
it
人
is
かなと思ったけ
vital
ど、
that
この
we
人
have
犯
your
人じゃないのか。
complete
ただ、
and
宝石を
true
盗んだだけか。
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
腕飾りがありましたよ。
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes,
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor
わしは何
man.
も悪いことはしてお
When
ら
I
んて。
chanced upon the
盗んだ
bracelet,
じょ。
I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the
わしは
bracelet,
腕
that's
飾り
all
を
I
盗んだだけ
swear.
だって。それ悪いこ
You
とです
made
か
a
らね。
mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
はい、腕飾りについて調査する。なるほど。隠すとこさ、悪いよね。なんかさ、もっとね、どっか引き出しの中とかにいるときはわかんないけどさ、この紙燃やされてさ、紙切った後とかさ、そういうのが残ってるから、怪しいなと思って調べちゃったんだもんね。ホームズさんもね。はいはいはい。なるほどなるほど。ビギンズくん、この3違ったわ。
I'll do anything.
けど誰も通ってきてないって言ってたよな、この先。ごめんね。次。ケネス・バトラーとブライアン・バーコッティが互いに発砲して弾丸が交差した相打ちの可能性がある。遺体を調べ再現してみようと。まあ、そうやってみようか。この2人が相打ちだったってこと？どうやって再現するの？あ、L1 ね。どっちが先に撃ったかってこと？こっちが先に撃ったんじゃない？じゃないと、こっちは即死だもんね、多分ね。まず先にこの人が撃って、その後、この人が頭を撃って、って感じじゃない？うん。先にこっちがあったんじゃない？バンバン。で、お腹を撃って、その後、バンバンと撃ったんじゃない？これでいいんじゃないの？ダメなの？どうすんのこれ？わかんない。やり方が。ということは、バンバン。あそこに弾があるってこと？壁を調べよう。あ、ランプを持ち上げるものこれ、棒使おう。
This should be useful.
はい。で、ランプを持って、壁を見て、銃の跡、あった。
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
はい。あ、これで完了だ。次は、骨董品の腕飾りについて調べ、なぜこの宝飾品がハーフムーン通りで発見されたのかを調べるというとこですね。ってことは多分、一旦ベーカー街に戻るのかな？はい、戻ってきました。そしたら多分、調べるのが多分資料で調べると思うんだよね。そうだよ。腕飾りを探すってあるね。はい。けどまあ時間的にちょうどいい感じなんで、今日はこの辺にしたいと思います。シャーロック・ホームズも結構長くなってしまったので、頑張ってね、次回ぐらいで終わらせたいなと思います。それでは最後までご視聴いただきどうもありがとうございました。また次回も見ていただけると嬉しいです。それではお疲れ様でした。バイバイ。